My brothers and sisters, there are moments in life when we cry over people who walked away. We question why certain friendships ended, why some relationships broke, or why someone we trusted suddenly turned against us. It feels unfair, it feels painful, and sometimes it feels like a piece of our heart has been ripped out. But what if I told you that very removal is Allah's mercy in disguise? Allah knows what we don't, and that reality is one of the greatest comforts a believer can carry in their heart. Often in life, we find ourselves in situations where we cannot understand why things happened the way they did. A friend betrays us, an opportunity slips away, a loved one leaves, or something we prayed for never materializes. In those moments, our minds become filled with questions, our hearts weighed down with confusion. We wonder, why me? Why now? Why did this have to happen? But the truth is, Allah's knowledge is complete, while ours is extremely limited. He sees the past, present, and future all at once. He knows what would have harmed us even if it looked beautiful on the surface. He knows what will uplift us even if at the moment it feels like a loss. When Allah removes someone from your life, you may not understand His wisdom in that instant. You may feel pain, you may cry, you may even think that something precious has been taken from you unfairly. But if you pause for a moment and trust Allah, you will realize that He is saving you from conversations that would have broken you, from betrayals that would have scarred you, from a future that was never meant to bring you peace. What looks like rejection to you may actually be divine redirection to something far better. Think of it like a child who cries when their parent takes a harmful toy away. The child doesn't understand, they only feel the loss, but the parent knows the danger, and so they act out of love. Similarly, Allah removes what we do not realize could harm our faith, our dignity, or our future. He loves us more than we can imagine, so His decisions are never without purpose. Sometimes what you wanted so badly would have been the very thing that destroyed your peace. Sometimes the person you thought would always stand with you was the one who would have pulled you away from Allah. In His mercy, Allah intervenes. He takes away what your heart is clinging to, only to replace it with something better at the right time. The test is whether you trust Him enough to let go. Remember, He is Al-Alim, the all-knowing. While you only see a fragment of the picture, He sees the whole masterpiece, and in His plan there is no mistake. Rejection is one of the most difficult feelings to face in life. It cuts deep, makes us question our worth, and often leaves us wondering what we did wrong. Whether it is a person who walks away, an opportunity that slips out of our hands, or a door that refuses to open no matter how hard we knock, rejection feels like failure. But in reality, rejection is not the end. It is redirection, a gentle push from Allah, turning us away from what we thought we needed towards what we truly need. It is His way of guiding us away from paths that would harm us and steering us towards those that will uplift and protect us. Every time something does not go according to our plan, we are given a choice either to sit in despair and cling to what has gone, or to trust that Allah's wisdom is greater than our desires. What appears to be a painful no is often a divine yes to something far better. The job you did not get may have saved you from an environment that would have drained your spirit. The person who rejected you may have prevented you from building a future on unstable ground. The dream that didn't unfold might have been the very thing that would have broken your heart had it become reality. Rejection is redirection because Allah knows where you will flourish, not just where you wish to be. He removes what you think you want to prepare you for what you truly need. But the human heart struggles to let go because it clings to the seen and fears the unseen. Yet faith teaches us to trust the unseen, to believe that Allah's plan is always better than our plan. Sometimes you will only realize years later why that door was closed, why that person walked away, or why that chapter never began. And in that moment of clarity, you will thank Allah for rejecting your request, because you will see that it was not rejection at all. It was protection, it was direction, it was love in disguise. Every closed door is not a punishment, but a redirection towards something more meaningful, more peaceful, and more aligned with your true purpose. What feels like rejection today may be the very reason you find your greatest blessing tomorrow. Toxic ties weigh us down in ways we often don't recognize until Allah removes them from our lives. Sometimes we cling to relationships, friendships, or attachments simply because of how long we've had them, or because we fear being alone. We convince ourselves that holding on is better than letting go, even when deep inside we know that those connections are draining our energy, robbing us of peace, and pulling us away from Allah. The truth is, not every bond is meant to last forever. Some ties are meant only for a season, and when they become harmful, they begin to weigh down the heart like chains around the soul. A toxic tie can come in many forms. It can be a friend who constantly discourages you, making you feel small and unworthy. It can be a relationship built on dishonesty, where love is spoken but respect is absent. It can be someone who keeps you trapped in guilt, manipulation, or negativity, preventing you from growing into the person Allah created you to be. These ties are heavy, and while they may look like comfort in the moment, in reality they block you from peace, success, and closeness to Allah. When Allah removes such people from your life, it is not to leave you broken, it is to free you. But the struggle lies in our own resistance. We mourn, we chase, we hold on tightly, even when every sign shows that this connection is poisoning our hearts. We forget that holding on to something Allah is pulling away only prolongs our pain. The moment we let go, the moment we trust His decision, we begin to feel lighter. Sometimes we mistake toxic ties for love because we confuse familiarity with safety. But love should never suffocate you. Love should never make you compromise your dignity or distance you from your Creator. When a tie is toxic, it is not love, it is captivity. And Allah, out of His mercy, releases you from it so that you can breathe again, heal again, and find people who truly honor and respect you. Toxic ties weigh us down, but letting go of them allows us to rise. It creates space for healthier, purer, and more meaningful connections, ones that uplift your soul instead of breaking it. And when Allah removes such ties, it is always because He wants to replace them with something far better. Trusting the unseen plan of Allah is one of the greatest tests of faith. As human beings, we are naturally inclined to want clarity, control, and certainty in every step of our journey. We want to see where the road leads, we want assurance that our efforts will bear fruit, and we want answers immediately when life takes an unexpected turn. But faith is not about knowing every detail. It is about trusting that the one who created you knows exactly what you need, when you need it, and how you will receive it. The unseen plan may not always align with your personal desires, but it will always align with your ultimate good. When life feels uncertain, the heart easily fills with fear and doubt. We question why doors close, why people leave, why setbacks occur, or why our prayers seem unanswered. Yet behind every delay, every detour, and every disappointment lies a wisdom that we cannot grasp in the present moment. Allah sees what we cannot. He knows what dangers lie ahead, what blessings require patience, and what growth can only come through trials. To trust the unseen plan is to surrender the illusion of control and to embrace the truth that Allah never makes mistakes. Many times what feels like the end of your dream is simply the beginning of a greater one. The opportunity you missed may have saved you from harm. The heartbreak you endured may have been the reason you turned back to Allah with sincerity. The failure you experienced may have been the foundation upon which your true success is built. Trusting the unseen means believing that your story is still unfolding and that Allah in His mercy is crafting it with perfection. Patience becomes easier when you realize that Allah is never late. His timing is not based on our impatience, but on His wisdom. He knows when your heart is ready, when your path is clear, and when the blessing will truly benefit you. Until then, the test is to trust, to keep walking with faith even when you cannot see the road ahead. The unseen plan of Allah is never to harm you, but to guide you towards what your heart will one day thank Him for. Healing begins the moment we accept that not everything and not everyone is meant to stay in our lives forever. Holding on to what Allah has removed only prolongs our pain, while letting go opens the door to peace. Many times we struggle with loss, whether it is the loss of a friendship, a relationship, an opportunity, or even a dream we once cherished. Our hearts ache and we convince ourselves that without that person or that thing, our lives will never be complete. But the truth is, healing does not come from clinging to what has ended. It comes from releasing it with grace and trusting that Allah knows best. Letting go is not about forgetting or pretending that what happened never mattered. It is about freeing your heart from the weight of what you cannot control. When you let go, you are not declaring that the pain was insignificant. You are declaring that it will not define you. By releasing your grip, you create space for Allah to fill your heart with something better, peace, strength, and hope. Sometimes the hardest goodbyes are the ones that bring the greatest healing, because they allow you to rediscover yourself and your connection with your Creator. We often believe that holding on makes us strong, but in reality, strength is found in the courage to let go. It takes faith to say, Ya Allah, I leave this matter in your hands, and to trust that He will replace your loss with something far greater. Letting go is not losing. It is winning back your peace, your dignity, and your closeness to Allah. It is saying that your heart belongs to Him first and foremost, and no person or thing will ever have the power to keep it in chains. In the process of letting go, wounds begin to heal and scars turn into wisdom. You learn that you do not need what was taken because Allah will never remove something without replacing it with what you truly need. Healing in letting go is a journey of faith, patience, and acceptance. It is realizing that sometimes the end of one chapter is the beginning of a far more beautiful story, one written with Allah's love and wisdom at its core. When Allah takes something away from your life, it is never to leave you empty or deprived. His promise is that whenever He removes, He replaces with something better. Though that better might not always look the way you imagined, it could be better for your faith, better for your heart, better for your peace, or better for your future in ways you cannot yet see. The challenge lies in trusting that His choice for you is far greater than the choice you would have made for yourself. So often we hold on to people, opportunities, or dreams that we believe are essential for our happiness. When they are taken away, we feel as though our world has collapsed. But what we fail to see is that Allah, in His mercy, is protecting us. He knows the unseen harm hidden in what we desired, and He knows the unseen goodness hidden in what He is preparing for us. That heartbreak you thought would destroy you could be the very reason you found true closeness to Him. That failure you cried over could be the reason He opened a new path you never would have discovered otherwise. Allah replaces with better because His knowledge is complete. He knows the type of people who will uplift your soul and those who will drain it. He knows the kind of provision that will bless you and the kind that will burden you. He knows the kind of future that will bring you true peace and the kind that will lead you astray. And so every removal is not abandonment but preparation for something higher. Sometimes his replacement comes quickly, and other times it comes after patience and struggle. But when it arrives, you will understand why the earlier chapter had to end. You will look back and thank Allah for not giving you what you once begged for, because you will see how much better his gift truly was. This is why the believer never despairs at loss. The believer knows that Allah never takes without giving, never closes a door without opening another, and never leaves a heart empty except to fill it with something purer. To trust him is to believe that whatever is gone will always be replaced with something better, if not in this world, then surely in the hereafter. My beloved brothers and sisters, life will always bring moments when people leave, doors close, and chapters end. At first, it may feel like loss, rejection, or even abandonment, but in reality, it is Allah's mercy shaping your path. He knows what you do not. He redirects you from harm. He frees you from toxic ties. He teaches you to trust His unseen plan. He heals you through letting go, and He always replaces what is removed with something far better. The challenge is not in the loss itself, but in how we respond to it. Do we cling to what Allah has taken, or do we surrender with faith, knowing His wisdom is perfect? So, whenever Allah removes someone or something from your life, let it go with grace. Trust that your story is still being written by the one who loves you more than anyone else. Walk forward with hope, because what is ahead of you is always greater than what is behind you, so long as you place your heart in Allah's hands. And remember, when Allah takes, it is only to give. When He closes, it is only to open. And when He redirects, it is only to lead you to a destination far more beautiful than you could have planned for yourself.